Welcome everyone. We are going to talk about friend function today. Another interesting topic, and let us make it very easy and very simple. But first of all, let me help you visualize an object and a class. For example, whenever you execute a class, you'll get an object. Something like this. You can see the diagrams, you can see the pictures in the diagram. Right? You have to visualize the object. See, this is an object of a class. That means two parts would be there. First part for the data, another part for the function. And the condition is functions of the same class will be accessing the data of the same class. That is going to be the rule, right? We have to refer that rule because in order to understand friend function, that part is going to be a baseline. Friend function is something that is not a property of the class. For example, this is something outside the class. This friend function is lying outside the class, but if it is a friend to the class, it is going to access every property of the class. That is the characteristics of a friend function. So first rule, a function has to be declared as a friend to the class. You can follow the yellow lines, yellow highlighted part. Second condition, second rule, the definition of that friend function cannot be kept inside the class. It has to be put outside the class. That is compulsory. Okay, and rule number 3, whenever we are going to make a call to the friend function, it will be like a normal function call. Once again, if you just take a look at the green part, it is not a member function of the class, but still it is going to make use of each and every part of the class. Okay, now let us understand the program, what actually it's saying. So let me help you visualize the program functioning, right? We are having two different classes. First class is called C1, another class is C2. We are going to create an object of C1 that will be 1, named as 1, the object of C2 that will be named as 2. So these are going to be two different objects of two different classes, and we have to, or we are going to try to interchange, to swap the private variables of two different objects of two different classes. So that is how this entire program is going to work, and that is all it's about, right? Okay, first of all, the first part right over here, if you just take a look right in the highlighted part, that is known as the for loop declaration, the definition of the second class, of the next class, fine, in order to inform the compiler that one more class is defined in the later part of the program. Okay, first of all, C1 class is defined, and that part is going to be the definition of that class. So inside class C1, we have a variable x and two functions in and display. Apart from that, third important part, that is the declaration of a friend. That means x function is going to be friend to class C1. That means it is not a member function of a class, but it will be accessing everything of that class. The same properties, the same condition applies on class C2. Just take a look. Class C2, of course, one variable called I, two functions in and display, followed by the declaration, that is exchange function is also a friend to C2 class. That means one particular function is going to be friend to both the classes. This particular function is going to be function to class C1 and class C2. That means this friend function is going to access the properties of both the classes. All right, like we said, like we clarified, the definition has to be put outside the class. So this part, blue part, that is going to be the definition. Fine. Exchange function is going to receive one object from class C1, another object from class C2, and some logic part, exchanging the values of the objects. Okay, if we just conclude on the main function, if we just jump to the main function, in first two lines, what you can see there is the initialization of two objects, class C1 object 1 and class C2 object 2. Now if you need to take a look at this diagram, fine, right over here, this is going to be the object from class C1 named as 1. Okay, so there is going to be the creation of an object, initialization object, and whenever an object is created, it will be allocated the memory space, and whenever memory space is allocated, it is going to be assigned with some sort of address. So we are considering, we are rounding it off as in starting address of 1000. So object 1 of class C1 is having variable x along with these two functions, and it is placed on address 1000. Just like that, we are having another object from class C2 named as object number 2, which is having variable I. So there is a mistake, it's supposed to be I, right over here, it is supposed to be I. Okay, later on, we are going to make a function call. So object 1, this object is going to make a call to the function in. So if this is a function call, everyone, if this is a function call, it is going to follow the definition from the same class. That means right here, that means 10 value will be placed temporarily in A, and later on it is going to be passed in X. So that's exactly what we are going to do. We are going to place 10 right in X of object 1. Right next to that, what do we have? Another function call for another object, that is 2. Once again, this time the definition will be executed from class C2. Okay, so the value 20 will be stored temporarily in A, and from A it will be passed on to I. So over here the value will be 20. Okay, initially, now we are going to display the values for both the objects. That means object 1, the X variable of that object will be displaying value 10, and another object, that is 2, I variable of that object will be displaying 20 values. That is the initial part. Okay, now we are supposed to make a call to the parent function. This particular part, the highlighted part, that is a function call. That is a function call to the parent function, and as an argument, as a first argument, we are passing the entire object. There is one object, entire object as an argument is being passed. As a second argument, the entire 2 object is getting passed. But if you just take a look at the definition, we are not actually receiving the entire object and copying into some new temporary object. Instead of that, V and W, right here, everyone, please take a look. V, ampersand V and ampersand W, they both are pointing, they will start pointing at the addresses of respective objects. That means ampersand V, right over here, this part, fine, we are talking about this particular thing. Okay, we are talking about this particular part. So ampersand V is pointing to the address of first object. Ampersand W, that will be pointing to the address of another object. Okay, what actually is now going to happen, you know, V dot X, this part is going to be executed. That means V is pointing to, everyone, once again over here, V is pointing to the address 1000. We are having object 1 on that address, and the X variable of that object, we are talking about this particular value, we are talking about this value simplified, 10. Ampersand V is pointing to 1000 address. Over that address we are having object 1. Inside that one object, the X variable is having the value 10. Okay, that 10 value is being copied into T. So 10, let me put it right here. Okay, so that is a temporary variable T, and value inside that variable is 10. Okay, right next to that, another thing, that is W dot I. W, same simplification, same cycle. Ampersand W, that is pointing to the address 2000. On that address we are having object 2. Inside that object, in I variable, we have the value 20. So this 20 value, is going to be copied where exactly? V dot X. That means to the location where ampersand V is pointing and the object right there. That means the value 20 is being copied right here. So this will be the new value for the variable inside object 1. Okay, one last thing, one last condition. So let us override this value. 10 is no longer there, right? For your reference, the value there will be 20 now. That will be the new value. Just like that, T, now we are supposed to refer T. The value there is 10. Fine, we are talking about this value. So this 10 value is going to be copied into W dot I. W means ampersand W is pointing to address 2000. Over there, there is an object 2. Inside that object, there is a variable I, and this 10 value will be copied right there. That means over here, we are supposed to put 10 as a new value. So what about the previous value? That is going to be overwritten, that is going to be striked out. So that is going to happen. All right. So after the exchange of two different objects, private variables, once again, if we just try to display the values for both the objects, the values will be, you know, object 1 will be giving new value. Just like that, object 2 also will be giving us a new value. So that is all about the friend function and swapping the private variables of two different objects of two different classes. Hopefully this part is very clear to you, each and every one of you. Thank you.